Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. If you're interested in receiving more money in your business, you must understand the first and fundamental law related to receiving, which is giving. Giving is the first law of receiving, but most people have been conditioned out of a true understanding of this. In this episode of Coaching Uncut, I speak with my client who has had some recent challenges in her business about how to use the law of receiving to move through these natural and normal challenges in business and change her outcomes. Listen into this episode to learn how you too can use this advice that I give to change your outcomes. Enjoy. Okay, so how you doing? Talk to me, lady.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling a little like sickly, not my sinuses. We're having a weather front come through and I have barometer head. So I'm feeling barometer head right now. Taking Advil and Sudafed to, help out the symptoms, of course. On that level, that's how I'm feeling. I am still doing some of the processing of, the shocking news on Monday from but I feel I'm getting into a really good place with it. She did follow through with the written notice yesterday morning. So I just did not pursue any type of action to re-engage her. I'm just going to let her go and do her thing. And I'm jumping back into, it's not that I quit doing it, but I'm focusing and really getting mindset and pumped and whatnot for my connection calls, my networking and sales calls and things. I'm focusing on opening up to the universe, to the opportunities that I need that are, meant for me, and not trying to force things like I did with these 4 clients. And I also realized I'm maxed on OBM clients. And so it was, I need to not take OBM clients, at least for now, until I can hire an OBM and add an OBM to the team and delegate that to, OBM clients to them. But I also want to get I would love to get more marketing and ops people that my team can, take care of instead of anything with me involved much.
Okay, good. So I have a little bit of advice and some more questions for you.
Sure.
I left a message last night around giving is the first law of receiving. And I would like to circle back to that and have a conversation about it. Because if you can take this in, Sophie, it's going to change your life. And right now you're hearing the words, but it's not coming into your heart. Okay. It's not, I can feel it. And I really need you to get this because it's going to change everything. Okay. So the concept here is it's not a quid pro quo. Do you know that expression? Okay. It's not a quid pro quo. You always give more than what you receive in cash value. Always, always. So you need to have the perspective of how can I give more to my clients. I am not talking about extra hours. Okay.
Right.
Sometimes it is. Okay. But sometimes it's energy, confidence, wisdom, advice, being there for them, all sorts of things. Okay. And this part really landed for you when I shared it the other day, when we were talking about being too concerned with making your number, right?
Yes.
That sort of the constricted feeling. And in that constricted feeling is the feeling of like, I have to charge this. I can't have any leniency here. I can't do anything more than what this amount is. And that is not going to work. Okay. Sophie, like, you've been on 1,001 sales conversations with me. Do I coach my ass off in those sales conversations, even if you don't buy the thing that I'm selling? Yes, that's me giving more. Okay.
Right.
That is absolutely free coaching. Okay. You do that as well in your sales conversations when you talk to people a little bit and show them things. I had a conversation with you extra. It wasn't scheduled when you were going through a hard period of time. Okay. I didn't stop and go, oh, that's not part of the program. Okay.
Right.
Even though it's my time. Okay.
Right.
And if I hear that people are not succeeding, I will text them. I will call them. I go the extra mile. You need to do that. You need to do it in your marketing. You need to do it in your sales. You need to do it with your clients, the whole spectrum. Okay. How you do it will be different than how I do it. Okay. And this is very different than not having boundaries around time, putting in thousands of extra hours. But sometimes I put in extra hours with a client because I'm building a structure. I'm building a system. Okay. So I know that it's going to be worthwhile. Okay.
Right.
People bought the Spirit of Wealth program. I could just keep it exactly as it is, but I keep, putting thousands of dollars into it, whether it's from a hiring and team perspective or an upgrading the system perspective, because I want everyone to keep having more value. Okay. Does it mean that people never leave the program? No. Okay. This is just business. Okay. But this is such a critical thing. So you need to shift your energy, which you're already in the process of doing, and leave her better off than she came. Okay. Yes. Like, that means surprising her with something fabulous. Okay. That means like making her think, oh, did I make the right decision to end this? Okay. I don't know what it is for you, but don't stand on ceremony. Okay. Because the universe understands Sophie is committed to value. It might come back to you through another client. It might come back to you through in 6 months when she has her wake up call. Okay. But if you stay in that constricted, okay, fine, I'm done, on to the next place, which is okay. But with you loved her the day before she said this. You were raving to me in your Voxers. You were saying, she's my ideal client, more of her, more like this. So do not cut the emotional connection, the energetic connection to her. Do something that is a huge give, so that emotional yes to rockstar clients is there. And know that many people in her situation have chaos and are confused. Okay. So that's part of you needing to learn how to handle that next level entrepreneur and set good road mapping, as we've discussed. Okay. Right. I will stop talking now and give you the mic.
So, well, I actually have I did, after I got over, the shock and awe and being pissed off, because you go into that mode and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Oh my God. And got through that mode. When she sent that written notice the next day, my response was opening that love back up to her. I wished her the best success. I told her that she's a beautiful and amazing woman, and I really enjoyed working with her and wishing her all the best and the success. So I've turned the love back on because I'm over the anger. And I am doing everything we've talked about for the wrap up in the next 3 weeks. And based on how that goes, I will look for doing some extra, get up and go with that, the things that we're working on to close it out, and see if I can find something that I can do that little extra fun, like you're saying, to give her that little, oh, well, we didn't talk about you doing that, but that was really sweet that you did that, and do that for her. And I'm already turning that into the one OBM, the one new OBM client that's left, that is, even, it got off to a rough start in a totally different way, just because she's very disorganized and she doesn't really know what, and she admits she doesn't know what an OBM is. So I had to do a little bit of training and coaching and all of those things. But now,
just so you know, that's the norm, not the exception. So you need to build your processes to that person, because most people who are going to be like, I want to hire you, have never had the experience of having an OBM. So they don't know how to work with that person. All they know is it sounds like what you do is amazing and help.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and I need to incorporate that into my like onboarding process and whatnot, no matter what kind of client they are, what services they're getting, because that in general, not being clear of how we work, what we're doing, those things in the initial, kickoff call and things, don't have set the stage to a not so great place. And so, and part of the problems of what's happening now is that situation. So like after you, I have onboarding call. Guess what? We're going to get clear on expectations, how things work, what we're going to do, and what's going to happen, and et cetera, et cetera.
That's awesome. So can you pause there for just a second?
Yeah.
I want that energy, that when you do that road mapping call, just check in and make sure the energy is a clear structure. Like you're leading, you're giving clear structure, but it doesn't come with any tightness in your body that leads you to feeling like, I have to tell her how it is, I need to make sure she gets like, without that kind of forcing, we're on different sides. You want to be on the same side with your clients, but it needs to be so this is how it works. So the clients that get the best success work with me in this fashion. I want you to recognize that right now in this onboarding call, we're going to go through these 5 things and make sure that you have a big picture, benefit, right? That I understand everything that you need. And then we're going to come up with a timeline so that you know what happens in the first 30, 60, 90 days, what we can achieve in 6 months, what we can achieve in 12 months, and where to expect yourself to be this time next year, right? You're also framing the long game. Okay.
Right. Yes. No, definitely. I definitely want to come from that place. Not that, well, this is how it is. If you don't like it, get over it kind of a thing. I need to come from that space. And she and I have kind of sort of had bits and pieces of that conversation in email, because she's already jumped into doing things before we even get started today. And it's like, oh yeah, love this girl already,
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't get what we're doing yet, she gets anything I've said to her about, well, we need to do this, we're going to do this. And she's like, okay, I love that. Great feedback. She goes, just keep telling me that stuff. So I'm like, okay, good. We already are getting on that page, that level, even through just some back and forth email and some prep work she's been doing in prep for getting started. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, one of the advantages is that she's doing the Spirit of Wealth. So she has the mindset and perspective and understands what it means to take action and be accountable and all of that. And she's did a VIP day with me. So she's all in on getting her business like to the next level. So support her. I love that. That's great.
Definitely.
You good?
I'm good. I really am. And I have been, noodling that, your message last night. I did get it. I got it late because I was out to dinner with a dame who happens to live here. And so, but I did get it, and I have noodled over it. And I do that in most cases with most of my clients. There's another client that I'm giving more value to as well. I'm just waiting for her to catch up. because I was like, we're going to do this, but I need you to do your part. And she's like, I know, it's me. I'm working on this, so, but yeah, no, I mean, I normally do give more value than anything. It's just when it comes to parting ways, that's where my giving stopped. But I see your point, and I see that I need to not, the minute they say we're done, I stop giving more value than what they're paying. I gotta, yeah, that's the area I need to work on when it comes to the giving and receiving piece.
Correct. And it needs to be throughout the experience, from the before they even know who you are in your marketing and just generally, to
Right.
that first call, through the working relationship. And there will be clients who don't re-up or leave, and you have to keep that open heart without being. The thing for you is that you have an on-off switch that is, I'm either going to be connected and giving, or you've hurt me, so I'm gonna shut off, and the gate comes down, and that actually doesn't work. There are toxic people out there, I get it, and there are people that you need to separate from.
Right.
But you can learn over time to have strong boundaries, separate from them without cutting off that openness to receiving. That is the energy that is attractive for other people, not just this person. So
yes.
I'll talk to you soon.
All righty, thanks.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us for Coaching Uncut. If you loved what you learned today, please leave us a comment and let us know. We always love a thumbs up or a 5-star review, so thank you in advance for that. And if you want to take your life and your business to the next level and it's time to scale, please reach out to us and schedule a consult at theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. So that's theunstoppablewoman.com/next level. See you in the next episode. Rock it out and be unstoppable.